it's making me realize everything we've been through makes us strong enough. You and I, everything we've been through makes us strong enough. You and I, you and I. thinking about the best way? I'm not thinking about the best way to save them. I'm not thinking about the best way. I'm not thinking about the best way. I'm not thinking about the best way. I'm not thinking about the best way to save them. I'm not thinking about the best way. I'm not thinking about the best way.
You're a new recruit to Rainbow Six Siege. You're about to join one of the greatest gaming communities out there, but you may be wondering, what is Rainbow Six? Rainbow Six is a game where multiplayer is at the center of the experience. focusing on gameplay that is just the right mix of tactics, destruction, and unique heroes that we call our operators. This video will help you learn everything you need to know before your first steps in Rainbow Six Siege. Rainbow Six features 3 different team deathmatch online game modes: Hostage, Secure Area, and Bomb. At the beginning of each round, there will be time for preparation. Defenders will be able to set their defenses with a variety of tools and gadgets. Attackers can send drones to recon the map, locate threats, objectives, and prepare their attack. But whether attacking or defending, knowing which operator to choose will have a big impact on your game. Operators are truly the heroes of Rainbow Six Siege, choosing amongst dozens of highly trained operatives from all over the world. Each operator is specialized in either offense or defense, owning tools and gadgets unique to them. Some operator gadgets allow them to set traps. Others excel at breaching. Mastering each skill and gadget will be key to your survival. But choosing your operator is only a fraction of the equation, as an effective team is more than the sum of its parts. In Rainbow Six, you are only as good as your team. So, play with your friends or let the matchmaking pick teammates for you. While there's no respawning and no second chances, once your operator is down, you can still exploit security cameras or remaining player drones to help your team achieve victory. Because each environment brings its own challenges, working, planning, and executing together with your team will be key to your success. There are a variety of maps to choose from, with more being released all the time. No two are alike, so you'll need to adapt your strategy, tactics, and choose your operators accordingly. Some will force close encounters. As for others, mastering medium and long-range engagement will be key. In Rainbow Six Siege, you have to always mind your surroundings. Environmental destruction is core to the game experience. When defending, you'll have to take into consideration that windows, walls, and even ceilings can be breached. So reinforce your position and be ready for anything. Rainbow Six Siege is constantly evolving, with free updates, new maps, and operators. But it's more than a game. It's a thriving community with 25 million players and counting. And the community is more alive than ever. Rainbow Six is a game built for gamers with a competitive spirit who won't back down from a challenge. And now, it's your turn to play.
Measured in gigahertz, your CPU's clock speed is the number of cycles it can complete every single second. So with a clock speed of up to 5.3 gigahertz, the 10th gen Intel Core i9 processors can execute up to 5.3 billion cycles per second. Each activity on your computer has a set number of CPU cycles it requires to complete. In gaming, this can look like anything from loading games and rendering objects to simulating enemy AI or calculating realistic game physics. Having a CPU capable of executing more cycles per second allows your computer to more effectively handle these activities, resulting in a variety of gameplay benefits. These benefits materialize in ways you may not expect. For instance, frame rate, a common indicator of in-game performance, is generally higher and more consistent when running on a processor that executes more cycles per second, or said another way, has a higher clock speed. Additional technologies like Intel Turbo Boost Max and Thermal Velocity Boost dynamically enable higher clock speeds for increased performance benefit. Whether you're looking to increase your frame rates for smoother gameplay or reduce AI enemy decision-making for quicker turn times, you'll feel the difference with higher clock speeds on PCs powered by Intel Core processors. Gaming happens with Intel.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to XP Women's League for another week of some Rainbow Six Siege goodness. My name is the Russian Cthulhu. I'm joined once again by wonderful Pi. Pi, how you doing?
I feel like you need to update me when you're wearing like sunglasses or something wacky so I can like join you. I feel so out of place when you start off a broadcast with something cool and I'm just sitting here.
Hey, you bring it in the brains while I'm being the main clown of the circus. So that's all that matters at this point. But before we get into all the nitty gritty of tonight's games, a quick mention of a few things that our wonderful sponsors have presented us as well. So first of all is we have the MVP prize by the ZQ Racing. We just about to see it in just a few short moments. There we go. So the winner, the winning team will get a chance to get the MVP chair that is done by the ZQ Racing. That is the V6 Racer Gaming chair in purple coloring, which looks pretty neato. Probably would fit pretty neato and would feel definitely quite comfy. And so the winning team of this season will get a chance to win that. But we also have a few giveaways to do today as well, Pi. And that is the first one that is going to be happening for, we will have a few of them. One of them is the Core i5 CPU that is presented by Intel Gamer Days and Computer Alliance. And this will be given away during the second matchup that we will be having today. All you will need to do in the Twitch chat is just to type ! giveaway, and you will be drawn in, or you will be getting an instruction on how to get into the giveaway. But yeah, we will be drawing that after match number 2. But for match number 1, we also have another very nice, very neato prize as well to be given away. That is the TP-Link power bank that you can win 2 of them, matter of fact. So 2 people will be drawn at the end of match number 1. And once again, all you need to do is just to type in ! giveaway, and fingers crossed that you can win this. But by matches tonight, we talked a little bit about them, that they might be a little bit one-sided, but there are a few chances for an upset. First of all, it's Enix versus Exto. Second one is Forbidden versus Elevate. Any kind of initial thoughts before we get into all the extras?
Yeah, well, I definitely think, NX is going to be the underdog in this situation. Just purely looking at them from the stats given to us by the round robin, EXO currently is in 3rd place. They do have 7 wins under their belt with, 3 losses. However, NX isn't doing as great. They still have wins under their belt. They have 2 wins. But they also have 7 losses. So just pairing, those stats straight up against each other, it definitely looks like EXO has the advantage tonight.
Yeah, EXO is certainly looking pretty strong, especially after their recent performance as well, I believe. Yeah, they've played fairly well against 71st, where they were able to get the 7-2 win, and against Elevate, well, not particularly too shiny. That was a 7-2, unfortunately for them, but nonetheless, still keeping themselves in the 3rd position is not a bad idea overall. I mean, keeping themselves up. But for Forbidden Gaming versus Elevate, I mean, I feel like it's somewhat of a similar story, but with Elevate, they've been just so far just completely unrelenting. I mean, 0 losses, that's already quite a statement from Elevate, I would suppose.
I feel like if any team was to probably trump Elevate, it would be Kingswomen, seeing as, Elevate, they would actually have 10 wins if they didn't draw one time against Kingswomen. So, it'd be really interesting to see when these games get streamed, how close or how far away the gap is between them.
Yeah, the gap is certainly, that's definitely going to be quite a question, given the fact that also for the high school league as well, that just finished with the broadcast for tonight, we actually just learned that one of the top teams that was Lenvias actually ended up losing out to the 4th position. So the upset potential is certainly there. But I mean, overall, yeah, this is certainly so far the whole season has been shaping up fairly close, actually, with most of the teams kind of stacking up towards the top end and still having the chances of pulling a few upsets here and there.
Yeah, I agree. Tonight especially, if it could be like a huge upset, if 71st will take the win or not, because it could really change how the rankings work. All these rankings right now, they aren't solidified yet. There is still a lot of chance that once a team takes the win, gets the points in, they could easily rise up the ranks. So we really don't know until the end of the round robin how things are going to pan out.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, let's have a quick peek at the lineups as well that are going to be seeing battle between each one another. First of all, it is Enix coming right up. It's Hart, Mint, Durkle, Cheesebender, Yoshi, Chi, and Gluttony as the coach. So, any kind of thoughts about this roster whilst they were progressing through the whole season?
I believe, this far in the tournament, you definitely know at least how your opponent would be playing. In this case, it would be Forbidden, sorry. And you would definitely be able to go over some of the VODs that Forbidden have had in the past. And I will say the same thing for Forbidden. They would have looked at VODs of Enix as well, just to see who the star players are, what they should be looking out for, maybe what map strengths there are. So to be caught by surprise, I guess, in this time is not something that they want happening to them, especially being the underdog in this situation. They want to be able to pull out any sort of advantages they have to be able to, win against any possible trades or any possible strategies that Forbidden would be putting up against them.
Yeah, well, we'll have to have a look how that will pan out, but let's also take a look at the lineup that will be challenging Enix, the top dogs, technically, of tonight's matchup. That is the Exto Gaming, Aqua, Repel, Omnom, Time for Pie, Bosche, Fish Noodle, and Oats as a sub. And that whole roster seemed to have been pretty well organized, at the very least, until Repel would occasionally fall amidst all the chaos.
Yeah, I mentioned it actually earlier, and I also said Forbidden for I don't know why, but I meant EXO actually. I actually had a little sneak peek in some of EXO Gaming's streams, where I could listen to their comms and stuff, and I noticed that Repel is one of the strong points of their team through her communication. So, and I have noticed in some of the gameplays where once Repel gets taken down, EXO Gaming becomes a little bit easier to face against if you're the team that's versing them. So maybe this is something that Enix has noticed watching their VODs as well. Maybe they have noticed that Repel is the forerunner of their communication. If they manage to take her down first, they will be able to have an easier time when they're versing them.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see how that challenge will really come through and whether Enix will be able to shut it down. But let's have a look before we get into the matchup at which map we are going to be playing it out. It will be Clubhouse out of all the maps. A little bit more kind of bit better established, I suppose, than in the current meta. We haven't seen a whole lot of variations apart from maybe a few kind of off-site roams, maybe on Church. But apart from that, it's has a fairly well-established meta, especially for the top floor sites, at least in my experience.
Yeah, especially in this round robin, you see most teams when they start off on defense to default towards the cash CC and then to rotate onto the Church Arsenal, I think, points, and then lastly onto the gym and bedroom take as well. And it's quite a standard defense hold. We haven't really seen anything, spectacularly out there, either on the defense or on the attacking side. Bans normally have been very comfort bans with the mirror, with the Thatcher. So maybe today is the day to see if anything interesting will happen, if any spicy bans or spice picks come out through.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. Honestly, my body is ready for each and every odd ban from either one of the teams. I mean, I've already seen a very interesting ban set from high school league as well. Given that I've witnessed a Kali, Monty, Legion, and a Warden ban on Coastline. So yeah, at this point, I'm prepared for pretty much anything. Either way, let's have a quick look at the wonderful Clubhouse before we transition straight into the game. As, I believe that is actually set up in Germany, maybe? Clubhouse? I think it's Bandit's whole theme, so, well, and him being a German operator would make a whole lot of sense. And, well, with the flags being on the police cars being German as well, right? set myself up for failure as well there. Either way, memes aside and me waffling and failing through all of that part, but let's have a look at the bans though.
And this is something I was actually talking about, the first ban coming out on NX's side, Sledge. I do want to say a little bit that I have seen Exo Aqua Repel playing a lot of Sledge. So this shows, NX has probably been watching through all those VODs, and one of the two common picks that I've seen Aqua go through is Sledge and Twitch. So to ban out one counterpart of it means that maybe this puts a little thorn in Aqua's plan.
Could be. Could very much be. Interestingly enough, also that Maverick and Thatcher actually managed to make it past the whole ban phase, so this is definitely going to be a spicy match one way or another. But yeah, target ban, that is definitely a very interesting sign that maybe Enix indeed did do their homework.
Yeah, and you said that the Maverick was let through, and I also want to add on to that. The Habana and the Thermite is also let through. It's very rare that you actually see 3 hard breaches not being banned out alongside a Thatcher, I don't think that there's going to be much bandit tricking or KE tricking, if any at all, because there's just going to be so many counters against that. So I'm quite interested to see, how the war denial, how the hatch denial is going to go about. And also that pulse ban. Cthulhu, what do you think about that?
Yeah, Pulse ban is certainly going to be a very peculiar one, given that he is extremely powerful on, general roaming around the clubhouse. He is one of the key operators to hold the church from below, and his general utility is quite powerful. UMP is quite infamous within the international pro league scene as being one of the worst guns for the best players, but hey, anything can be done if you land the headshots, but
sure.
Yeah, I mean, no pulse definitely is going to make things a little bit tougher there for the defense, but I don't think it is the end of all humanity there for the defense.
Attackers need to locate and
I agree, definitely. Having a pulse, being able to C4 from below, it's just as effective as having a Valkyrie, but it's almost like, you have a portable intel giver. So it's definitely something that you don't really want to happen to you if you're an attacker. With a Valkyrie, you can always just take an IQ. However, I don't actually see that on Aqua's attacker lineup. I'm quite curious to see how, maybe they're going to use their eyes to take down the cameras. Maybe they'll have drones set up in place just to be aware of where that Valkyrie's going to be placing cameras. So it'd be interesting to see.
10 seconds to go.
Yeah, the Valkyrie is certainly going to be quite a large thorn in the side of the attack if they won't be able to deal with her quickly. Oh, there's minus a mute jammer. But on the whole topic of the lineup that we see for the attack, actually, I almost would like to say that this might be a slight overkill with some of the breaching. I mean, having the Thermite, which is pretty much a standard one for any of the breaching on the wall, plus, as well as that, a Maverick and a Thatcher, pretty much one way or another, you're getting a breach.
Yeah, I feel like this is one of those cases where taking in a Habana is actually possibly better than taking in a Thermite, seeing as there is a Maverick alongside it, You definitely want to be prepared just in case some teams will go into the church hold as well, so you can take down the hatches. But I feel like if you wanted to open up those double wars in CCTV, having just a Maverick plus a Thatcher is more than enough to deal with that.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Especially with the fact that there's no Kaya tricking as well, and no, any attempt at mute jamming as well. So that's a slight overkill, but maybe, they might be looking for a few maybe peek holes through the garage walls, maybe. Maybe there's a chance at pushing the construction, but to kick things off, though, for the time being, it's Fish Noodle to find the shot onto Pot and Dirtle, and that is the smoke out of all the operators off the board.
Yeah, I don't believe she actually managed to get much of her smoke charges off. I think she managed to get one smoke, but that was all she managed before she fell.
Talking about falling as well and not being able to get up, it's Mint that ended up falling, trying to peek the garage window from the catwalk, and, pretty much got straight away punished. Full control of the rafters now in full effect, so for the time being, the rest of Enix roster will get naded.
Oh, I was just going to say, Yoshi is in a very good spot to deny the plant, possibly with a C4. However, Aqua just goes in, gets their headshots, manages to get a flawless round on the very first round. Kudos to them.
Yeah, I feel like maybe Xto Gaming Aqua has quite maybe an extra dosage of the quantum energy there, just fully cracked up on it. Not only they've drank it, maybe there's some extra usage of that has been included, but look, all I'm gonna say here, after my waffling once again, that cracked. They're ready to frag, they're ready to game.
They definitely are cracked, and we're going to see the second site come out from Enix. It's going to be the Church and Arsenal defense. They can swap off from that Cash and CC. Probably some things didn't work out expected. Maybe the rush from Aqua was just too fast to react to, in a sense. So this time we're going all the way to the basement.
All the way into the basement, indeed, with the lineup. The defense looking like they might be actually going for a slight bit of roaming, with Yoshi, Mint, and Chi being on pretty much roam-worthy operators. Should be posting like it. Sorry, should be setting up like it's a very spicy round, especially with the fact that Mint is actually setting up some of the off-site cameras as well to look around. Maybe a few C4 tricks could be done here, right at the entrance to the kitchen from the freezer. Maybe a few vertical angles. I believe it was either Forbidden.
10 seconds to insertion.
I think it was Forbidden that actually played a Valkyrie up in the logistics office overlooking into kitchen. I remember there was an angle. I can't 100% remember which team did it, but there was a play. Yeah, Mint will be, rather playing it.
I think it was actually Enix, if I'm not wrong. I believe she's about to take her C4 and open up that angle right now.
Yeah, there it is.
Yep.
Here's the question. Did Fishnoodle hear that? And whether is she expecting that angle? Because for now it looks like she is not, at least from her camera positioning. Not at all. At the very least, she will be able to fall back and won't be really losing her life to that very naughty angle, gotta say.
Yeah, I believe this angle is quite easy to flush out. However, I don't really see, the walls aren't reinforced in gym. Pretty much, Mint is just going to get hot during now. She's getting pinged constantly. She falls down to one bullet. Mint gets downed. It's not a good start for Enix.
Not at all. Yoshi will try to maybe bait in with her teammate to try to get a frag, but instead gets punished by Repel, and that is already a very nice turnout of the events. Quick drone out just to make sure that the Valkyrie is down, as she's bleeding out then. There's going to be a finisher. Om nom! She wants to get that. Oh, okay. Oh, no. A little bit of a BM there. Alright, that's pretty much all of the roaming out of the way, and now the remainder of Enix is certainly not looking too excited, but hold that thought as Hard Exposed finds a really nice shot there.
Yeah, it's good to see It's Chi as well rotate quickly back onto site as Jaeger. There's very little point of roaming once your two roamers outside of site get caught. You really want to condense all your help back onto the objective so that they can prevent Aqua from pushing, especially seeing as they do have a Monty being quite intimidating, standing in that doorway like that, providing any sort of intel, any sort of eyes that they're able to, because I don't believe there's a lot of counter to it right now. Hard Explosive doesn't have that C4 on you. Patan only has one smoke canister left, and It's Chi definitely doesn't have any C4s.
Not at all, and with the final smoke grenade as well being extinguished, things are certainly going to be not looking too fresh out here. Trying to find some sort of engagement, some sort of gunfights. Instead, it's only the demise that is being found by Hard Explode. Same goes for Pot and Dirtle, and now it's all down to It's Chi trying to play it out. 1v4 situation with the Monty pressuring up. Things are certainly not looking too pretty. Does find a single shot, but a bonk from the Monty from behind is going to be closing down around. Aqua, once again, finding round number 2 and a 2-0 scoreline in their favor.
Yeah, it's a very intimidating use of Monty, when you have that shield forcing at you and when your team doesn't have any C4s because your Valkyrie died very early on, and plus that C4 was used as an angle giver, not as anything aggressive. There's virtually no counter against that Monty unless you manage to sneak up behind them and go for another angle. But with the way that Aqua was stacking up in that moto room, there was very little chance to take down that Monty. So it was just quite intimidating to go up against.
Imagine having an operator that is a direct counter to Monty, which is just literally just T-posing to assert dominance over Monty. Just drop all the guns, T-pose over him, and just make him just cower on the floor. Just no, please don't.
Like a gymnast. A gymnast.
Yeah,
I don't know
exactly.
what I was saying.
Well, technically, you can say that
Attackers need to locate and defuse
orcs
the
could
bomb.
technically T-pose on
True.
on Monty, but just in a different way with the shoulder up front. But either way, yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of way to really counter Time for Pi, who was playing on that Monty before as well. So nicely done already, a 2-point lead here for the air attack. And we are going to go back to Jim. Thoughts on maybe how could Enix improve their setup here and try to acquire themselves the dub?
10 seconds
I'm
left.
actually thinking, maybe that sledge ban wasn't as effective because it does mean that
seconds
Fishner was able to slide by on that Thatcher every single round. And you
Attackers'
know that if the
objective is to
Thatcher
locate a
ban
bomb and
isn't
defuse it.
banned out, any team's going to be picking Thatcher, obviously, And this really puts a thorn in Enix's side because they are the first defenders and they won't be able to ban a triple K trick any of the wards because, yeah, you would normally see a bandit being on that spar wall, being able to ban a trick or at least slow the onslaught of maybe Bochet or Repel in this case from opening up the walls. But instead, it's just a free pass, which is not what you want.
I'd probably argue with you on that one, and would probably say that more so it's the Maverick ban that is hurting them because with Thatcher you can still kind of ban to trick it out at least until the Phantom Legacy drops, where there's a change to the bandit charges. But yeah, here for example they could have easily bandit tricked it in if Maverick wasn't in the game, but either way, yeah, it seems that Exto Gaming are actually feeling pretty chill about the fact that Sledge is banned.
Attackers have located
And this
a
is
bomb.
just another use of Monty, being that pressure, oh no, of being that pressure, forcing out Yoshi into that small room so she couldn't really run anywhere. So Fishner was able to pick her off, but Repel, I think she actually failed to
she
repel
fell
in
off,
that
yeah.
case. It's in your name, come on. She gets picked up by a teammate, but Fishner was going ham. It's a double kill of the round. She picks it off on Chi.
Yeah, Potendurtle decides to promptly fall back from that position and will be waiting with her teammates to try to find any kind of gunfight. That it seems that a little bit of a chaos has certainly been ensuring that there's a little bit of confusion. Repel does find a shot, but Time for Pi at the very least will be going down to the hands of to the hands of Smoke and the gas grenade. But Free Fire, just being a millimeter away from finding the headshot, will not be connecting anywhere, and Heart Explode actually goes in for a nice run in, but amidst all the chaos, it's Bochet to find the kill. Yeah, what is pretty... Time for Pi's at the end of the round comment pretty much summarizes the ending of it as well, yeah. Pretty well.
I think that was more of a, I'm getting pressured on all sides by the enemy. I just gotta, run for it. I'm getting warbanged as well. I just really need to just run straight into logistics, maybe take down that warbanger. But alas, she didn't see Bochet in the corner, and so that was the final death of the round.
Yeah. Bit of an unfortunate loss there by Enix, albeit that they are slowly but surely kind of getting there, being able to nearly lock down the site, but series of unfortunate events do end up happening, and well, it does result in there yet another loss in the round. So we are now on a 3-0, and it certainly doesn't look like XO Gaming are planning to stop their train anytime
Attackers
soon
need
here,
to locate
really.
and defuse bombs.
I do want to say, maybe they're adapting more to the Montang pick. I did see that they were able to take down Time for Pi with the smoke canisters. So, this time, maybe something could be different because Min isn't going to be using that C4 for, another angle. She could be using it to go for an aggressive below the floor C4 on the Montang when they walk in.
Yeah, definitely a Monty pick is certainly being probably a less expected pick for Enix, at least at the very beginning of the matchup. It's definitely not looking like their strats have been accommodating for a shielded operator, and it really shows that not a whole lot of things have been made. But yeah, like you mentioned, Previous round has definitely been a good indication of that they finally started making the plays around that Monty as well. So interested to see how will the round shape up now that they kind of
by attackers.
figured out a little bit the general pacing of their opponent, that is that are Ixto Aqua. And maybe we are going to be seeing the first round to go into the hands of Enix, albeit for now it seems that Ixto Gaming are playing a little bit more active. I would probably say that's probably the right word here.
I'm a little bit, just secondhand stressed. I'm watching Mint on rafters like this, and she doesn't have an ADS, not that I can see anywhere close to her, One wayward grenade would be able to flush her out. Yeah, I don't see any of those ADSs near her. If they do throw a grenade, or if they do open up a wall or something, she would need to rotate real quick out of there. However, her rotate is getting held off. Fish Noodle getting that headshot onto Mint. Yoshi retaliating it though. Getting that headshot onto Omnom.
A solid beginning there for Yoshi, albeit quite short as well. She does manage to trade out her teammate, but at this stage it's only Hard Explodes and Chi's getting very heavily pressured with not a whole lot of ways to really play about it. Monty is still there to apply even more pressure there. Then Repel still has a frag grenade and a down already to her name within this round. Hard Explodes is now down. All down to Chi. Try to get the round back up and running, but at the moment this is certainly not looking too favorable here, given that, well, Monty is there to keep on applying pressure, and I don't think they will leave the poor lady alone.
I don't think a res would be possible right now on Hard Explodes. The only real benefit that Hard Explodes can offer at this point is to maybe shuffle around and get some intel for Chi, seeing as her life is pretty much forfeit at this point. Intel will be coming out, Tentrify going for a knife on Hard Explodes. However...
okay. That is...
maybe she didn't think it was actually a live body?
Yeah, I think it took some time to figure out whether it was an actual live body or not, but I mean, a little bit of a panic there. An attempt was made. We'll call it on that, I suppose, for that round. As Enix, after all the attempts, after all the shuffling that she did, fortunately just weren't able to get the win just yet. And it seems that, meanwhile, in the Exto camp, they are planning to do some extra spicy stuff. Oh my lord, if I would see that being picked against me, I'd ult it 4 at this point.
Well, they don't actually know that there is a Ying, so for all they know, it could just be an Ash pick. So this certainly is an explosion of grenades that we're seeing coming out of Exo. There's going to be a lot of smoke grenades. Rappel has those double smokes. Time Papaya has those double smokes. Omnom has those double smokes. Boshe has those double capital smoke bombs. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is starting to look like a smoke plant.
Yeah. This partially gives me like the flashbacks from back when the Ying glass meta was a big thing, where literally just bring a Ying, bring a glass, and then the rest of the operators just bring as much smokes as possible. Spam the whole site with the smoke grenades and the flashbangs, and then have glass go for entry frag. And let's just say I'm just happy that is not a meta anymore.
Speaking of that smoke glass meta, it also reminds me of that smoke LMG, like brief sort of, BM meta that we had, where it was throw down all your smokes, have that thinker boost. And I do believe that Rappel and Boshe both have LMGs as well. So to be able to, use one thinker charge and to be able to just fire forever, pretty much, with almost zero recoil, because you have that recoil nullifier from the thinker adrenaline boost. It's not something you want to be facing up against. Admittedly, this does take a little bit of coordination with the team. You need to fire all the smoke canisters at once, have one person go in and go in for the brave plant, essentially. But here it is, the smoke grenades are coming out. A few fly short and land outside the building, but Fish Noodle gets that first kill onto Patan.
There's the call as well already. Mint will try to do something here, but this is just completely being shut down. The plant is already down. There's gonna be another boost. There it is. Fish will be finding the shot onto the mute, and this is just a complete roll here. Finally, G does find the shot here, but apart from that, with already all of the track stingers is already being spammed into the side. This is not looking all too pretty. Another kill for time for Pat and Fishdoll to wrap this up. This is probably the biggest showcase of what does a bullying in Siege look like.
I think it's definitely a lot of fun though. I certainly have been on both sides of that team comp, and I can promise you that facing up against that with no warning, especially, you're in ranked, you don't have that composition reveal either, so you just get that one call of, I think they're rushing, guys. And then you have the second call of, guys, they're smoking off site. And then you have the third call of, guys, I don't know what's happening.
Guys, I lost my eyes. Because at this point, it's all completely burnt out by either Capitao or the flashbangs of Ying. And then, oh god, guys, my monitor is burning. Please, somebody help me.
We do see a little bit of cheekiness come out onto the NX side. That Tachanka pick is secured. Let's see what that turn gets placed out. NX is retaliating. They're going, we can do something strange too. We can show that we can have fun too.
Yeah, well, yeah, fun indeed it will be. Because I definitely think that, with all the memes aside, Chanka can really shut down a few sight lines really well, especially if you have a few ballistic shields. Place one down right at that doorway, place another one, say into the blue tunnel, and chuck in a Chanka turret to lock down the whole hallway. And you got a pretty neato setup. I mean, even with all the memes about the shield having written Lord and everything, it's still an 800 HP shield, which also gives a bit of a throwback from when the same amount of health had the Blackbeard's shield. And that thing was a portable one as well.
Yeah, that thing was not something that was fun to go up against.
That is something of like a horror stories, gotta say. But funnily enough, all of the hatches have been reinforced. This time, no funky roam up above from Mint. And instead, yeah, just going to be seeing the final moments of the setup as curious where Yoshi will position her turret. Okay, yeah, that's actually not a bad idea as well to lock down the landing of the main stairs. But the only issue is going to be that very hatch that Yoshi is actually looking at.
Yeah, and especially without any Kaid electrifying claws to deny that from being opened, all you would need is Repel to open up those hatches, or even Boshi at this point, to be able to go for this. However, Mint gets caught with her pants down. She was about to get grenaded, but nope. Vision just swung and got the kill. However, Enix going with their double kill in retaliation. They're not having it today.
A good response to the overall rush. They were able to finally get themselves up and running. Fantastic tag. Oh, nearly got the kill into Monty, but finally it's Yoshi that does get the frag. 2v3, albeit that Omnom and Boshi are both very high on HP. Yoshi is about to go down. All of a sudden, it's back to a 1v2, but now in favor of XPWL Gaming Aquen. Now that Heart Explodes has revealed her position, things might get a little bit dicey in a few moments.
Hopefully there have been some communication onto the Enix side where, both members are actually in the blue engine room. So looking at that one angle is actually the right option. She just doesn't need to get flashed out and to get pushed, which is going to be the worst case scenario for her. Planet does go down from Boche. Some warning shots come out on Omnom. Both teams are equally low.
Device in position.
Precautionary air jabs will be there, but it's Boche that finds a really nice long angle from the armory, securing what I believe is the 6th point. Yes, it is. Get a quick look at Fish Noodles, already double digits here. And, well, that's a flawless half from XPWL Gaming as they are looking pretty dominant here, just to nab away a quick dub, get themselves some more points, and roll on ahead with their day.
Yeah, I agree with you there. It's just it looks so close in 1 second, but all of a sudden, you just became a 1v2 again. I really thought Enix was going to actually take that round with all those early kills that they got, but alas,
yeah, wasn't meant to be. Well, now we are going to be seeing XPWL Gaming to go on the defense. Their first choice will be the CCTV room with the 6th pick from a Rook onto Valkyrie. And apart from that, well, there's there is quite a change in the offensive lineup, at least from the glimpse that I saw whilst I was
Defenders, protect your
looking and
bombs
staring
from
at the
being defused
defense
by
lineup. But we are seeing the Kali that was joked around by Yoshi in the pre-game lobby. So curious if that is going to come through. As well as that, Repel busting out the... Oh, wait, pardon. Repel is just bringing in the smoke. I thought for a second that was the boss G on the Vigil. My brain just went full on 180 there. But yeah, I mean, probably the only interesting pick is going to be Boshe's Goyo, given that his utility is being placed in...
10 seconds remaining.
I think that is only in the construction. No more... Yeah, no shields on the rafters, no shields in CCTV. So...
Attackers must locate and
yeah, it's
defuse
only a
the
single
bomb.
shield for the time being. Yeah, there it goes. There's the second one that is being put down into the entrance, into the main bedroom. So... yeah, this is a pretty well-organized defense. Well, best defense is also a good offense. And, well, Fishnoodle very much teaches Enix about that very thing.
And it's such a shame as well. The first pick is onto Yoshi. You know, the last time we had seen her on Kali, she was a deafening force to reckon with. She was not someone you wanted to pick. You know, she was able to get those kills, able to get those quick scopes, and to clutch out the round for her team. And to be picked off first is definitely not a good start for Enix, especially seeing as they are on match point.
Yeah, being on match point is certainly going to be a bit of a tilter, given that not a whole lot of kills were really granted to Enix throughout all of those, well, now 7 rounds. And instead we just seeing a pretty confident push by Enix to try to just, essentially at this point, YOLO maybe into the logistics office and try to get a drop down and get a few frags before the timer runs out, as Time for Pie is already there. She's prepared, she's ready, she's waiting for the frags to come through, because I don't think she was droned out thanks to that ERC-7.
I'm surprised that Enix isn't actually going for the double walls onto CCTV, because there is actually no breach denial on Aqua's side. You know, they don't have a K, they don't have a bandit either. So to be, you know, almost avoiding that wall entirely and to go for something else is quite a strange choice, actually, because I do actually see, you know, all of Aqua responding in regards to where Enix is pushing. You know, most of Aqua has actually rotated all the way to the bedroom and gym side, and this is a curious trade. You know, Time for Pie getting that headshot onto Hard Exposed, Mint trading it off onto Time for Pie, making it an almost even matchup in this case.
Yeah, I suppose this could be partially an even matchup. Cheese position could be a huge one if she won't be revealing her precise position, and, well, swinging like that, unfortunately for her, she will be dying. Mint is also down, all down to Pot and Dirtle, and, well, her position is not looking very saucy at all. It seems that right now, when it's just aggression is going to be the only answer here, as already most of the, well, 2 of the players, rather, of XPWL Gaming have already rotated.
Yeah, definitely the right choice of events right now is to quickly repel out of there and to go, you know, for another angle, definitely, because Aqua is onto you. Aqua is actually, you know, condensing all around that, so you really don't want to be stuck in those line of fires.
Yeah, well, we see a bit of a trade to come through. Boshe is down, and the final round could be, a final kill could be coming out by Omnom. There it is, there's the win. And a 7-0, very quick, very swift victory here for XPWL Gaming Aqua. Will be netting themselves a very nice set of points as well.
Few close rounds coming out of it, yeah, but ultimately it is a flawless victory towards Aqua's side. You know, they get those points, they get those round differences that would just be so much more helpful to, you know, maybe boosting into a second based on how Kingswomen will do today. But definitely a good match overall.
Good match overall indeed. Well, that concludes our first match for tonight. We still have one more, but before we start preparing our second matchup as well, we have a little bit of a giveaway. So for those who are just tuning in, it is the exclamation mark giveaway that you can type up into the Twitch chat, and you have a chance of winning one of those wonderful TP-Link power banks, and we will be announcing them as well in just a few moments, and get a a couple more moments to get yourselves into that giveaway. But yeah, I believe we gonna draw them in a few moments. But yeah, I mean, whilst we are waiting for the draw to come around, any kind of thoughts so far on how the whole match went? Whether you maybe were expecting that kind of a role by Exto, or maybe you were expecting a little bit more fight from Enix, maybe?
Yeah, I definitely expected a little bit more out of Enix. Coming right off the bat, they did actually go for target ban. So I was a little bit curious to see if Enix was going to counter some of the things that Aqua was going to pull. But I don't think anyone was going to expect that smoke LMG rush plant. I don't think any team has actually showed that to us so far. So it really did catch everyone off by surprise, even us.
Yeah. Yeah, it's certainly a few very interesting strats were really pulled out there by Exto Gaming. Quite a spectacle as well to witness, but yeah, nonetheless, a very nice swift 7-0. Now, let me just check if we are going to be going for a cheeky draw here for our giveaway. And yeah, okay, let's get the draw going on the way. So for those who have typed up ! giveaway, we are going to draw just in a few seconds here. I'm pretty sure the command should be working at least. I do see a few messages saying that the command is not working, but pretty sure the Nightbot still registers that. And drum rolls into the studio. Yep. All right. And who could be the winner of the giveaway? Just we're waiting for all the final confirmations. All right. So the winner is Minxie. Has managed to win a giveaway. Congratulations, Minxie. Do manage to ping either XP Esports TV on Twitch, or we shall try to reach out to you via Discord on the giveaway. So congratulations on the first one. And I believe we are going to be just a quick check. Do we get another draw for this round, or are we drawing for after? Okay, so we have another winner. That is XBrett, who's also won the giveaway. The Nightbot has finally graced us with the winners, I believe, as both of them. So Minxie and Brett as well. We are going to be reaching out to you as well, to get you sorted out on that giveaway. And congratulations on winning the two wonderful TP-Link power banks supplied by Intel Gamer Days, as well as the Computer Alliance. Much thank you to our wonderful sponsors, as well as that wonderful Quantum Energy to get you all charged up and get ready, get prepped for another matchup, as well as we have, I believe, another matchup is going to be Forbidden Gaming versus Elevate that will be playing it out. So we shall be seeing. So there we go. The two winners are Minxie R6 and XBrett. Do make sure to reach out to us to get yourself sorted out on the big dub. And for the time being, we are going to be setting up for another matchup tonight. Won't be too long, and well, we shall see you in just a short few moments. Take it easy.
When choosing a new Intel processor for your next gaming PC, knowing which processor line it belongs to can help you make the right decision. Start by looking at the suffix towards the end of the processor's name. These can help you identify the processor features that are best suited for how you game. When you need the highest frame rates across the most demanding titles, Intel desktop processors are a great choice. For Intel's best-in-class gaming experience, look for the K. This indicates the processor is unlocked and overclockable, boasting the highest frequencies in its brand level and giving you the ability to fine-tune your system with overclocking controls for additional performance headroom. Processors with an F deliver the same great performance as corresponding processors without an F, but do not have integrated processor graphics, requiring a discrete graphics card. If you want performance gaming on the go, look out for an H. These processors typically have higher frequencies than other Intel laptop processors with more cores and threads, and better support for high-performance discrete graphics cards. Like desktop processors, some laptop processors are unlocked and overclockable and can be identified by the K after the H. You may see some laptops powered by Intel processors without the H suffix. These typically have a lower max processor frequency but are built for better battery life in ultra-thin and light laptops. They can also include Intel Iris graphics, making them versatile for work and play, with smooth gameplay across popular titles. However you game, Intel processors provide the power you need at any level. Gaming happens with Intel.
Siege. Yeah, I've heard of it, and I am the GOAT. When I'm attacking, no room is safe. Doors. Yeah, I think I remember them. Before I discovered Windows, the thinking man's door. I've come up with something I like to call a spawn kill. You've probably never heard of it. Because when I'm in defense, nobody gets in my bank. Teammates, droning. Listen, I've got all of the intelligence I need right here. My only team is me, my gun, and my skills.
should come back home.
I've been thinking about you lately and all the places that you could take me. Why you so shy? You got me going wild. Cause I've been saying that you got it, baby, give it to me. See my lightning, you gonna feel my thunder. Show me how you do it, come on baby, say it louder. Got you on my mind now, let me see your style. I'm on my way tonight. Oh, yeah, yeah. Cause I think about you, you. Cause I think about what I think about you. I wanted to make you see that you were the one for me. But there was enough, cause you're up and down and then everything's the same. Baby, how do I make you listen? Don't wanna be through, cause I wanna put you, baby. You and me tonight. Don't need to behave, gonna take me away, baby. Do it one time. Oh, oh, oh. And the thought of you drives me crazy. You don't need to worry, cause you know that you got me. Cause I think about you, you. Cause I think about what I think about you. Cause I think about you. Hey, cause I think about what I think about you. somebody else. Oh, I just wanna hide out from under all these indecisions. Oh, make room for somebody else. Circling the edge, way up high. Don't know if I'll ever have a useful alibi. Gone too far to stop. Yeah, I'll try. Flying, crashing, looking for a perfect suicide. Circling the edge.
Alrighty, welcome back to matchup number 2 of season 2, week 6 of Women's League. Cthulhu and Pi back on the microphone. And Pi, so far we had a really bit of a one-sided game, but Enix did make a few efforts to try to score a round.
Yeah, there were a few rounds in there where I really thought Enix really had the upper hand. You know, they had the kills down pat early, they had the advantage, but they just, I think they just couldn't clutch it out, you know, maybe through miscommunication or maybe just being taken by surprise. But Aqua was able to clutch back all those rounds, you know, going for that flawless 7-0, which is definitely something you want to be going for.
Yeah. Well, alas, at the end of the day, it was the win of X2 Gaming. Before we get into the matchup number 2, though, we have one more giveaway for you wonderful viewers to do, and that is the Intel Core i5, the 10th gen, is to be given away, and that is going to be done at the end of the matchup. To get into the draw, type exclamation mark giveaway once again, and you will be in and set up eligible for the giveaway once again. And yeah, I mean, a lucky winner could definitely score themselves a really neato new processor, maybe a little bit of a upgrade if that is needed as well. Maybe pick up streaming as well with that. But without further ado, second matchup. Oh yeah, right. We have the second matchup. Here's the schedule for also who are just tuning in. It was a 7-0 between Enix and XTO Gaming, and we are now looking at a Forbidden Gaming versus Elevate that is going to be played out. Any kind of initial thoughts before we dig into it?
I Elevate is the strongest team undoubtedly in this entire tourney right now. As we said before, they do have 9 wins. 9 out of 10 games of theirs have been wins, which is extremely oppressive to go up against. They haven't even actually lost. Their one game, which wasn't a win, was a draw. So you going up against that, doesn't matter what team you are going to be the underdog in this case. It is Forbidden. They do have 4 wins, 5 losses as well. So they don't have a bad track record, but against the number 1 team in this round robin, I think it's going to be quite a tough game.
Yeah, I'll have to agree with you. It's certainly quite already a moral, a mental kind of pressure that is you're already going against, well, the top team right now in Women's League. But I mean, overall, so far, all that I've seen was just positivity and friendship all around between the teams as well. So it's always a nice thing to see as well. But for this matchup, unfortunately, the friendship will have to be tossed away, just somewhere close by, so you can pick it back up very quickly straight after the match. But let's have a look at the rosters that will be playing it out. First of all, comes in Forbidden. That is Mons, Weird One, Soy, Diana, Fina, Just, Chrissy, and Minxie as their coach, who just also managed to win a TP-Link power bank, by the way. But any kind of thoughts on that roster now that we get to dig in a little bit more? You did mention a few things coming up towards that broadcast, I believe.
Yeah, I am a big fan of Forbidden. I'm pretty sure I say this every time Forbidden does pop up on stream. I try not to make my bias that obvious, but I am huge fans of them. I know all the girls personally, and they're all wonderful, wonderful people. And I'm sure it's the same for all the other women in this competition. They always give it their all, and they're all just very good players fundamentally as well. So I am interested to see how they will face up against, the number 1 team right now.
Yeah, and let's actually take a look at the number 1 team right now that they are going to be playing against. That is Quatari, Lola, Aussie Princess, Sav, Serenity, and Crescent, who is the sub as well for the team. So far, yeah, that team has been pretty much going flawless on their games. Only a single draw that did come around between themselves and Kings Women, which is currently the 2nd place roster on the Women's League Season 2. So, yeah, I mean, everything else has so far been looking pretty well. I mean, 7-0s, 7-1s are pretty much a common thing looking at their so far whole track record throughout the season.
Yeah, I think if Forbidden is able to, maybe not win, but definitely pull a few rounds away from Elevate, it would still be recognized as a win in their books and in our books as well. No team so far has managed to beat Elevate, so not being able to take a win against them isn't the end of the world. Rather, a few rounds could really show a difference between their dominance.
Yeah, and plus some more kind of VOD material, something to train up on and work on, certainly going to be showing here against the top team here. But before we get into the matchup, let's have a look at the map that we are going to be playing on. And I believe it is going to be Clubhouse 2, Electric Boogaloo, as we are going to be returning to the German Clubhouse to be playing it out. And I mean, look, we've seen already so far a pretty dominant game from one team. I'm curious at this point if Elevate are going to try to beat the speed run here against Forbidden, given that this is surely going to be a little bit more of a challenging game, I would imagine.
Yeah, I feel like, to be able to successfully attack against Clubhouse, you need to be able to have some strategies already pre-organized. You need to be able to go up against anything that you might, see, such as like a bandit tricker. You need to be able to know those angles to attack against that. Same thing on defense. You need to be able to put up a prompt defense, maybe have a few strategies in your pocket so that if one, e.g., one style on Cash CC gets countered, you'll be able to pull something different out of your pocket so you won't get countered over and over again.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see how things will really work out here. It's Elevate to attack, Forbidden to defend. Let's quickly take a quick peek at Clubhouse once again, as we are going to be transferring just in a short few moments here to kick things off between the two teams. Good luck. Funds are going between two rosters, and well, there it is. The Clubhouse, the one and only. Thoughts on maybe the bans, given that we've seen a few unorthodox picks on the previous matchup?
I think if both teams play as smart, they definitely go for some of those comfort bans, such as like the Maverick, maybe the Thatcher. I don't believe that there would be any specific target banning, seeing as both teams do play very standard when it comes to strats.
Yeah, I would have been quite surprised if we would have seen a second game worth of some different bans, let's just say that. With Maverick being gone out of the equation now, I would imagine Thatcher is going to be the next victim to fall to the ban phase. And after that, maybe follow a Mirror and, heck, probably an Echo. But instead, it's going to be a Jackal ban. So, Elevate don't really want any kind of interruption in their roam game, which is certainly setting up like a very spicy defense for when they're going to go into the second half.
I definitely believe, though, however, between a Maverick and a Thatcher, a Maverick is definitely more dangerous than a Thatcher. As we said before, it doesn't matter what map it is, Thatcher can be played around. You can not place your gadgets down and wait for that EMP to come before you go for a trick. Obviously, this isn't going to be possible once the new patch drops out, but as it is currently, Maverick is definitely worse than Thatcher, in my opinion.
Yeah. Given the way how easy he can breach through some of the surfaces, how easy he can make pretty much a reinforced wall, turn it into a soft wall with the Maverick trick. Yeah, he's definitely the number one enemy of the state at this point, but he won't be seen today. Talking about the new patch, I'm genuinely quite keen how will things really work out once Sam Fisher will also hit the will get out of the competitive quarantine, as his utility is also going to be helping quite substantially to counter the whole bandit tricking or kite tricking for that matter.
Yeah, there's so many things in the new update that I'm so excited to test. I actually wanted to play the test server, but my internet's like really bad. So I was just going to be like, I'll wait for the actual release to come before I, play the game instead of downloading TTS and waiting a whole week to play it, I just... no, but I'm so excited to see the new sites and how you can customize them and everything now. That seems such a cool aspect.
They've done a few tweaks to the sites, because the initial release of, I think it was a 1.5 times site, it was actually setting right behind the front side, so it was quite an interesting experience. But yeah, I'm genuinely quite interested how the sites will really work out, because they also been giving some of the larger magnification sites to some of the rather interesting operators, including the Spetsnaz defense operators, which, I've been curious how would it feel to have essentially an ACOG on the 9.18 SMGs that Spetsnaz has, and given that they're pretty much a lazy beam of death.
I don't know, I read somewhere on Twitter, where I assume that they gave out, some of the better scopes to try and balance out the operators, such as taking the ACOG away from the GA. I do agree with what someone said on Twitter, where the scopes on a gun shouldn't really determine the strength of the gun. I agree with that. It feels a little bit half-assed, where it's like, everyone's running the ACOG on IQ's GA, we'll take it away.
Yeah. It kind of feels, it definitely feels weird, given when there's a side balancing, albeit
A bomb has been
Ash
located.
R4C was probably an exception there. I genuinely was quite happy for that, as well as the Jaeger ACOG and the Bandit ACOG, but we'll talk about that later. For now, it's the action that is actually being kicked off here pretty quickly by Saren, who managed to get a really nice vertical play there on through the same openings that I believe Diana has done.
Yeah, unfortunate use of angles, using them against themselves. It's definitely not what you want to be seeing. I also did see that wall get opened up into CCTV, which is a successful breach by Sav. That really cuts off any roaming that you can do when you're on that garage rafters. So I assume it's Mons right there. She's a little bit cut off now. Lola going up those stairs, sneaking up on Diana. By all means, Diana should have won that trade, with the SMG and shotgun. However, Lola's just going straight in. She goes in for the double kill onto Soy. Doesn't manage to get the triple kill because Saren picks it off, but it is a flawless round for Elevate. Again, are we seeing a copy of events from last map?
I have a slight feeling that we may just see that, albeit that comparative to how X2 Gaming were playing in a little bit more of a kind of structured, a more methodical kind of way, I feel that this one is going to be aggression just turned up by 1,000%.
I agree, seeing the way that Lola was pushing all those angles as a Thatcher, no less, that's definitely aggression to the max.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, well, for Lola, there wasn't a whole lot of things to really do after the breach was done. Her main kind of utility usage has been fulfilled, so at that point, she has a pretty decent gun for fragging, so might as well just go for a swing. And a 2-speed Thatcher is not half bad at all for taking a few of those gunfights, especially with the fact that Forbidden were pretty well distracted by the engagement in the construction site. So for Elevate, that was pretty much free farm for the damage.
Yeah, I think it was actually quite interesting. I didn't really notice a lot of lounge presence. If there was, maybe I missed it, or maybe the frags came out really early on. But normally, you would have some lounge presence, because I actually noticed Aussie managing to get the ground below Finite right now open relatively early. Finite actually took quite a bit of damage from those impact grenades of Sophia as well, which meant that she couldn't bandit trick against Sav opening up that wall. So to be able to have that lounge presence to stop those Sophia impacts from coming in would actually really help in bandit tricking as well. I'm not sure maybe if the lounge presence wasn't quite there.
Yeah, I don't think I saw a whole lot of lounge presence from the defense, so probably that was one of the ways for Elevate to essentially make the play, make the entrance, and go for kind of the highlight play attempt, which worked out pretty well. Interestingly enough, Soy is roaming downstairs, but in a very passive manner, not really trying to keep a hold of any specific positions, and instead, well, there's going to be a pretty quick breach in the CCTV, so Finite won't really get a whole lot of time to play around with the bandit charges.
Yeah, not a good turn of events for Finite. Not being able to take down some of those thermite charges means that they will be able to open up those CC wars to the entirety. However, Lola does get down for her trouble, but Mons gets picked off quite quickly by Saren, so maybe they can get the res off, and they do.
Yeah, I believe Lola actually fell down to the ground floor, to the bottom floor through that hatch that got opened up, so that was pretty much a free and a very quick and easy res. But curious that there might be actually a push through the ladder of the oil pit where Lola is actually droning from, but she knows pretty well now that there's some presence in the rafters. But if Diana keeps on looking in the general direction of the entrance from the main hall into garage, she could miss actually Lola getting up on that ladder, but it seems that doesn't matter, as I believe that's Sav that was actually able to down Diana.
Not sure if they know that they've actually downed her though, but however that is the smoke temporarily out of commission, and I would assume permanently, seeing there's no possible way to res her. That does mean no smoke canisters, nothing to really deny the plant of the bomb if it chooses to go down. However, weird one, picking up Sav, Soy, following that quite quickly up with a kill on Lola. However, so many downs are happening across the page. Finite gets down as well for her troubles.
Oh, Soy managing to find as well herself double kill. Now we're back to a 2v2. This is definitely looking workable here for Forbidden. Now that they've also were able to drain some time. Finite will be finished off in a very dramatic way with that breaching charge, but with 28 seconds left to go, Elevator not looking too pretty here, given that they might be looking at losing out a round. But as a castle barricade gonna go down, gonna be a few pre-fires thanks to the pings from the drone, and once again there it is. There's another frag. Aussie finds a kill, finds a double, and that is another round. Very quickly came back for Elevate.
Yeah, that's an excellent pincer move almost used by Elevate. You know, they realized that they didn't really have the advantage in that situation because they were all piled up in that construction room. So they actually rotated out, managed to open up the castle barricade on that suicide window so they could get more angles and hence more pressure onto the defenders.
Yeah, the moment they got that pressure, Soy already got distracted and pretty much got finished off by Aussie, and from there on it was pretty much just a snowball effect there by Elevate. So yeah, nicely done by them. We are going to be seeing a transition onto the Church and Arsenal room after two unfortunate failures by Forbidden to try to defend that side, but Church could really swing things around for them. Maybe they would be able to steal away a round, if not two, after the success of Church. That is, if it does come through. But that last round definitely looked pretty promising there for Forbidden.
Yeah, it definitely looked a lot closer than the first round, which was actually a flawless round. So it'd be interesting to see how Forbidden will adjust their strategies, as you say, to see if they can counter anything that Elevate will bring. You know, Elevate has been bringing very stock standard compositions with the Thermite, Zofia, IQ, Thatcher, and Ash. So it's really something that, you know, teams should be expecting.
10 seconds left before.
Yeah, at this point I would be also bringing in a whole lot more of the trap meta as well, given how aggressive Elevate were with bringing just all the action to the defense rather than giving defense any kind of walking space. And maybe say bringing in an Ella, even a Frost wouldn't sound as bad of a pick, to be honest, but for the time being it seems that we are going to be playing a fairly passive game of defense here, albeit that Finite did spread out most of her goo mines around kind of the main staircase / kitchen area, so that should give at the very least a good indication of when to go in for the player, or when to go in for the peak, or maybe go for a C4 play, given that Weird One and Mons have those in their disposal.
Yeah, you know, it's so important that you need to be able to have that intel on Forbidden side, because they don't actually have a Valkyrie, they don't have a Pulse, they don't have an Echo, they don't have any form of intel giver. You know, only the intel that they have is Weird One if she manages to use her pest to capture some of the attacking drones. However, you know, with those goo mines that Finite is able to use, your stepping on one is quite a good indication that there normally is an attacker right there where you place the goo mine. So it would help out with any C4s that they possibly want to do from below.
Oh yeah, it could be a really good kind of sound indication as to where could the C4 play be going with, but I don't think either of the C4s were actually put out, so instead it's Finite that will be trying to go in for the impact trick, and actually is quite successful in doing so. So now it's going to be more so of a question of forcing out Finite before she can even get rid of the second Brimstone charge, because right now Kotari is playing a bit of a dangerous game there, trying to do it herself without the help of Sav, but here goes another attempt, and Finite will be getting that impact trick. Very nicely done, and well, now Elevate are going to be forced to go through other avenues that will be presented to them, namely the main staircase, which I believe has pretty much goo mine spammed all over.
Yeah, and this is something that's so impactful, you know, my choice of words, of impact tricking, because you're able to deny such effective gadget use. You're able to pretty much render the hard breacher, in this case Kotari, completely useless, so that Elevate is forced to funnel into these natural, I would say, doorways. And this is just not working out for them, because Forbidden, able to take down this round because Elevate is just trying to push themselves through these doorways without having any alternate angles really opened up.
You know, all those choke points that Forbidden have set up managed to very masterfully work out in their favor. Props as well to Soy for being able to solo hold the blue tunnel as well and being able to shut down the flank from IQ. So, yeah, overall, this is a very solid hold that we've just witnessed from Forbidden, already showing that they are able to, at the very least, take one to a few rounds against Elevate. And, I mean, hey, if they're able to keep it up like that, if they can play off the fact how aggressive and impatient can Elevate be with some of their plays and some of their utility usage, they could really punish them quite frequently here, I reckon.
I agree with your choice of words on the word impatient. You know, if they had taken soft breaches such as Sledge, even the Ashe with her breaching charges, they could have opened up angles to flush out Finite before they actually used Kotari's hard breaching charges on that hatch. You know, I feel like it was just a little bit greedy going for that, especially after getting tricked the first time as well. You know, you definitely want to be taking precautions against that. You know, you know that Finite, or you know that someone is under there with impacts ready to deny you, and you're still gonna go for it and hope that maybe the outcome is different?
Yeah, I'm definitely a little bit questioning their choice on utility, albeit that it's been a single round. Maybe they've gotten a little bit too careless, or maybe too what's the right word? Overconfident. With their push, because I mean, let's face it, they did get a pretty solid run in the first round where they were able to get a flawless, and the second one, I mean, a clutch is always a very nice and uplifting thing, meaning that, well, you still get to have the point advantage. So I can understand that, but at the same time, yeah, I'll definitely fully agree. They had so much soft breaching utility. I mean, even now, look at this. 4 out of 5 players have breaching charges. So if you're not using all of that, it is definitely feels like a little bit of a waste, especially on ops like Zofia, like Ashe. You can bring in the claymores, you can bring in the flashbangs to drain out the ADSs, but it just gets completely shut down. Finite loses out on her another bandit charge, but I believe, yeah, she has still plenty, and Sav already once again been a little bit too impatient. And there's Soy. Soy just doing some absolute godly work, being able to run out and open up the position right onto Aussie. But thankfully for Elevate, they still have the Hibana charges to shut things down. And well, there we go, nicely done. There's the opening.
Yeah, you know, that peek down in Dirt Tunnel where you're able to get someone on that Spa balcony has been used a lot of times in this Women League, you know. People aren't strangers to it anymore. You need to have drones in there to make sure that doesn't happen to you, especially on Aussie, your hard breacher. However, I guess that doesn't really matter because Lola's in already. She's able to catch so many people unaware. You know, we've got Finite falling one by one onto her. That's so impactful.
Indeed, extremely impactful. Once again, there's Cortari as well following suit. All down to Mons now, who was able to find a nice shot onto Lola to shut down and curb her aggressiveness. But the moment Mons is expecting some aggression from the CCTV, she does not know that the whole roster is pretty much has their sights trained right onto that doorway. But Mons is also quite ready. Takes care of Saren with a phenomenal headshot. And now in a 1v2 situation, this is workable, albeit not a whole lot of chances to really get a successful gunfight, given that Mons is very low on HP. But if she can play her cards right, if she can find that headshot onto Thatcher, she could have been given an even larger chance. But no, Sav is unrelenting and will be able to shut it down pretty quickly.
I believe there was also a drone in that barbed wire which was able to, you know, predict her coming. So things just weren't looking good for Mons. However, there was an excellent try. You know, I feel like they just, Forbidden just didn't expect that aggression. You know, again, the aggression from Elevate coming out of nowhere. You think that they would stop and pause after getting their hard breacher taken down like that. But no, you know, they open up the wall with those Hibana charges and then just rush straight through and get those picks.
It almost feels like if Forbidden could really try to maybe attempt the same kind of aggression almost to play against Elevate, they could really curb their momentum really quickly. I mean, even the fact that Soy went for that kind of aggressive peek through Dirt Tunnel onto that balcony already shows how much impact you can bring over to Elevate's overall composure the moment you shut down their initial momentum.
Yeah, however, I don't think that's going to be working a second time. You know, I don't doubt if there's going to be some drones or if there's going to be a gun pointed straight at where that punch hole is going to be going. So, you know, if I was Soy, I definitely wouldn't be reattempting that peak again, because I don't think it would plan out that well this time. Especially, you know, with the breach charges on Siren and Lola, you could just breach that straight open and hold a direct angle onto Dirt Tunnel if you so wanted to. But in any case, the whole point of this pretty much is just to make sure that Finite is able to successfully bandit trick those walls, because last time she was actually so close to being able to. You know, Thermite was dead as well. It was just the last few Hibana pellets that she wasn't quite able to get, which allowed Lola to enter per se and, you know, destroy a lot of Forbidden. So to be able to stop that, you know, the one round that Forbidden was able to clutch back, you know, this is their sights that onto that dirt peak. It's not going to happen again. But the one round that Forbidden was able to win, they actually had an excellent use of gadget denial. So to be able to see that come out again, I don't doubt that Forbidden will have the upper hand if they can do some gadget denial.
Now here's an interesting thing. Lola right now has her sights trained right onto that dirt tunnel, and there's straight away an opened hole in the window that Diana could really use to get rid of that Ashe. But it seems that for now, it's not going to be really playing it out. There's the play, and well, that's all of the... No, there's still one more charge. There's still one more charge of the Bandit remaining, and I believe that's that's all of the EMP grenades. So nicely done, very well played there, but for the time being, Lola could really be a menace overlooking that window, but it seems that instead she's going to attempt to push the Logi hole.
This is almost a mirror of, you know, what happened the last time Forbidden actually won a round. Both of Sav's hard breaching gadgets is actually gone, so it would mean that Elevate do need to funnel through these doorways and through these really tight choke points that they don't really want to be going through. However, and this is what's happening, Moz able to get that headshot onto Siren. She is getting thrown down, so she should know that there's people close by. She gets those warning shots onto Lola, finishing off with a double kill. She's on 1 health, if I'm... correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, that looks about as close to the 1 HP as it can get. Sav, meanwhile, does trade with Soy with a few, with 1 headshot each, and well, right now in a 2v4, things are certainly not looking all too pretty here for Elevate, albeit we saw a bit of a comeback last time they pushed CCTV, I believe, so they were able to muster themselves up for yet another comeback, but oh, Ozzy, if only she knew a centimeter to the left, she could have been able to get that kill onto Mons, given that the Kite is so tagged up right now. But Mons is also a very excellent fragger and definitely could still really pull off a feat and a half. There's one.
And she does. She gets that triple kill, gets that quad kill. Mons is on fire tonight.
Oh
She's denied that ace, but a quad kill nonetheless. Especially the last 2 kills being on 1 health is definitely something to be proud of tonight.
Wow, that is, yeah, Mons is absolutely nuts, especially with a gun that is the AUG. That's a very nice crosshair placement and a fantastic performance in that round, being able to hold out all by herself and be able to shut down all of those pushes. I mean, well played. And another props as well to go to Finite, who was able to bandit trick really well and pretty much force the Elevate off that wall and force them into that uncomfortable zone of having to push through all these choke points.
Yeah, I got a little bit optimistic just there when I seen Kotari go on the glass. I was like, ooh, maybe there's going to be some smoke plants again coming out. But no, you know, it's just a tactical 6 pick, which I also stand by, but just a small twinge of disappointment.
Yeah, that it was quite a entertaining round to see when we saw that spam of just all of the smoke grenades onto the side. Albeit I think that Forbidden would have been much better composed comparative to Enix when those smokes would have gone down, and a spam of smoke grenades, C4s, impact grenades, everything could have been going there. So yeah, certainly few more things could be done here by Forbidden, but nonetheless, I mean, a 2-3 scoreline and a contention for a potential draw between the two teams is looking quite nice here, I gotta say, and big props to Forbidden to be able to shut things down. The moment any hard breach is being shut down on Elevate, the moment they're not allowed any breaches through hatches or through the main walls, that's it. That's their whole momentum, that's their whole play pretty much completely shut down.
Yeah, and I feel like Elevate have definitely adapted towards this. You know, I think they've recognized that every time the thermite charges get denied, they've actually lost the round. So this time, you know, they're bringing in 2 hard breaches, thermite and the Habana, as well as the sledge. Hopefully, we're going to be seeing some angles in kitchen being opened up by Cortari. Yep, you know, see those flushing maybe finite out with those grenades. Hopefully, she doesn't fall down too bad. Yeah, you know, you just... you push your luck one too many times. Cortari manages to get that pick onto Finite. I assume Finite was going for that impact trick one more time. However, you know, this time Elevate came prepared.
Yeah, and this time they actually were able to pace themselves pretty well, albeit talking about pacing, Soy. Fantastic peek onto Cortari as well, utilizing the same window that Cortari tried to go for a pre-fire and scoring himself a frag, pretty much meaning that now Soy can quite safely default back to the side without, well, for the time being, without being hunted. But that is a solid pick and a solid trade-off as well for a fallen Legion.
Yeah, which brings us to an even 4v4. You know, both teams have suffered quite big casualties. To lose that sledge and to lose that soft breacher especially is not the worst, but Elevate, seeing as Saren, Sav, Lola do all have breaches in their pocket. However, losing Finite, having someone who's able to regen goo mines consistently over the time of the round is possibly not the best loss for Forbidden.
Not at all. Well, so far it's a bit of a calm before the storm, I suppose, as we are waiting for the drones to start running in. Surprisingly enough, no presence over to the east side of Clubhouse, so Blue Tunnel and the garage is pretty much all safe. The main push is going to be coming through the main hallway, and there it is. Lolo already going in for the swing, does find the shot onto Mons. No, actually misses out a few shots, but finally does secure that frag. There's Saren as well, finding a few frags in the 2v2 situation. All of a sudden, this is looking workable here for Forbidden once again to try to shut things down, as Saren now will be rendezvousing with her teammate, and all the breach is going to be coming through pretty quickly and pretty successfully.
Dinah still has one smoke canister left in her pocket, so she is able to smoke off that breach charge. You know, Weird One taking that long angle down on main says she spots someone run across, so she does, you know, a few shots going to Dinah, how she swings aggressively, and this is what we want to see, you know, Forbidden matching that aggression with Elevate. Weird One finishing off that last kill against Aussie, and this round, it goes to Forbidden.
To think that it all went and started off with the fact that Cortari was down without any kind of redemption, or not being able to give any more damage back to the defense, it is a huge thing. Gotta say, this is looking pretty well here for Forbidden Gaming to maybe give Elevate their first L as well here.
Yeah, I think Elevate is definitely feeling the heat from this matchup. You know, it's been a while since one of their games has been this close, especially when the rounds turn over, and it is actually an even 3-3. So now we get to see Forbidden show us what they really have planned on attack, as well as see if Elevate have that iron solid defense.
This is going to be a big test. Yeah, for Elevate, it could be arguably a much more comfortable area for them to go into defense and just wait essentially for the attack to come into their traps. Whereas for Forbidden, now that they've kind of out of their comfort zone, now that they need to pretty much set the general pace of the round, they're looking at claiming themselves maybe a few rounds here, and well, maybe this is where Elevate will pretty much pull up all of their rounds and will pretty much shut down the whole progression that so far Forbidden had. Or maybe Forbidden will be able to just completely roll over Elevate without any kind of chance for redemption here from what is currently a top team running with a flawless streak.
Yeah, you know, both team comps actually look remarkably similar despite swapping over from, you know, one side to the other. So it'll be interesting to see how these teams take it, you know. It's not up for an operator difference at this point. It's just going to be solely down to gun game as well as how they do things with their operators, or what they do things. What they do things? What they do with their things, sorry.
What it do with the things. The things that will be done, but well, talking about things that were done, it's Lola that found the frag onto Diana, and that is, of all the players, that is the one of your 2 hard breaches, and that is going to be a rough patch here for Forbidden. They still have a Thermite in the face of Weird One, who will be joining up ahead for Sword to try to claim a few more frags, but it seems that for the time being, it's only Lola that is being hunted down here, as I believe the castle has already bailed out as quickly as possible, as I can't find that player. But oh no, Lola tagged up Soy a little bit, but already notified her of the presence while Soy was able to claim Kotari's life, and back into a 4 versus 4 with Soy already extinguishing both of her utility. She's now out for blood. She wants to find that kill. She wants to get rid of Lola, but instead it's Aussie that finds the kill through the very same hole, I believe, that was about to be opened up by the Zofia, and well, with Saren picking up a kill into Mons, it's all down to Weird One and Finite.
They do manage to get that breach open onto CC, so all is not lost. They do need to get some more impactful kills, you know, maybe stop repelling from there and going through Lounge and maybe flush out some people with the intel that they do have, because they do have a lot of drones available to them to maybe get a few angles on.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Yeah, could be. It seems so far that they are playing and trying to bait out the aggression from Elevate, and maybe this will really work out, but for now, Elevate are playing a very, very stable game. They don't want to really give any more ground to Forbidden, and, well, rightfully so. The moment you give Forbidden any chance to really clutch out and bring this back, this could be a very quick and very swift shutdown. Lola trying to get into a gunfight here in a very unfortunate position. Will be able to find Weird One with pretty much her with the flashbang in her hands, and rather instead of the gun, and well, with time running low, it's all down to Finite.
10 seconds remaining.
Things aren't looking good for Finite. You know, Finite doesn't have any offensive grenades that she's able to use, and use all those smoke canisters blocking her view and her health from doing anything achievable. And you know, it's an expected turn of events. Aussie getting that final kill onto Finite. Things just weren't looking good for Forbidden in that case, you know?
Yeah, not the best kind of performance that we could have expected from Forbidden, and a very unfortunate loss for them, but nonetheless, still a few rounds to be played out here. Definitely looking like a much closer game comparative to what we saw in matchup number 1, and certainly looking like we might be seeing a very tight congestion. Interesting choice of Amara. I believe that is due to a slow pick from with the game loading, but we are going to be seeing a 6-pick back onto Zofia, so we're back onto normal picks.
Yeah, and I also believe that Elevate is actually going for the same thing that Forbidden went for when they went onto Charge and Arsenal, which is going to be those impact tricks, you know? So I definitely do want to see Forbidden being able to flush out those angles with their breaching charges, because they do have Diana on that soft breacher to be able to force out anyone below in that Arsenal sort of area right around Bomb B. All of that floor ceiling is actually soft. So if you were proficient with your angles, you should be able to open them up with Sledge, force out anyone below it, so that we will be able to get her breaching charges off. Because if we take a look at Forbidden's lineup, they actually only have one hard breacher. And every time Elevate lost due to their gadgets, it was because they only had one hard breacher as well.
Yeah, it's a very good point. The fact that the moment that either one of the teams only have a single hard breacher, it just seems that the moment they get shut down, it's just a slugfest for them in the hopes of trying to find some sort of frag, some sort of kills, but yeah, it's not looking too pretty here. Kutari is going to try to get a play going as she is, I believe, being hunted, and the ERC is there. Ready makes her position very knowledgeable, and, well, already managed to fall back a little, back to the lobby.
And this is one of the strengths of Vigil, you know, you're able to go for such aggressive roams, still get droned out, but you're able to live due to your gadget, you're making you almost invisible to drones, which is admittedly one of the biggest strengths that attackers can have over a defender, which is the intel.
Yeah, talking about intel for the time being, defense is trying to gain some kind of information. There is some live droning done by Forbidden to try to clear out top-down floor, which is a bad, not a bad idea, given that Cortari was pretty much everywhere and nowhere at the same time. And with her roam in the western hallway, she could very much trick the attack. But oh, that is a very ballsy swing there, which will be ensuring the safety of Cortari, as I believe she only took a slight bit of damage, and that is from a previous gunfight. So giving out so much punishment in return to Soy, now that is a success there.
And that's a lot of time being drained from the clock, you know, almost a minute left, and Forbidden haven't really achieved much, you know, no hatches have been opened, they've just been trying to roam clear, essentially. Albeit if Soy manages to get that kill in Blue Engine, this would make things worth it. However, you know, all the roamers are playing quite safe and quite sensible, you know, they're retreating back onto site because they do know that the timer is ticking down for the attackers, which means that the attackers need to push soon. And if you look at this, it's just the clump up on site. South getting that nitrous onto Blue One, that's the hard breacher. It's the sole hard breacher down.
And with the hatch not being open, Finite only will get a few vehicles to really play around, because otherwise they need to go in for the push. There's still an uncontested blue tunnel, which I believe now finally will be pushed by Mons, but a solo push by Zafir is not particularly the best thing that you could do, and with the fact that there is a crossfire set up, well, you can only pray that your fraggers can do better. There's already quite a fair bit of damage being done. Soy claims a double kill, Mons as well does it, and Monza gets a triple actually off screen as Forbidden just all of a sudden mop up the whole of Elevate roster.
I don't even know what happened, you know, I think Mons took a page out of Lola's book and just went straight balls to the walls and just ran in, guns blazing, and, you know, getting that triple kill, very round winning.
Yeah, that kind of aggression matching Elevate's push is... That's just, yeah, that's insane, exactly. Diana pretty much took the words out of my mouth. Yeah, very nice. Very, very good, very quality push there by the Forbidden Gaming member, and we are back to a draw pie.
And this is something that I really like seeing, you know, when all seems lost, when your team is down in numbers, when you're down in time as well, and you don't have any angles opened up because your sole hard breacher is already dead, to be able to cast all those doubts aside and just go straight in, you know, trust your instincts, trust your aim, and to actually be rewarded from that is something that's just, it's such a great thing to see.
Being able to switch around your playstyle as well is also a huge flex here, which Mons was able to pull off once again. I mean, look at this. She is on already 11 kills. Soy is following suit with 9, but the next person is 5 on Weird One, and Monza has been already able to swing the rounds into her team's favor already twice. Once as a Kaid with the orb, second time was on that Zafir whilst pushing the blue tunnel, and my god, that is one way to force your team into a winnable position.
Most definitely, you know, you definitely really start to trust and rely on someone like that who's able to clutch up in those last moments without letting their nerves get the better of them, because that's something that's just so dangerous, you know, especially being one of the last member or the last 2 members alive on your team and to still need to go through the entire defender lineup essentially.
Yeah, it's still quite a showcase nonetheless. Well, we are seeing a slight double down on the push, but Who cares?
I was going to say,
Forbidden.
Dino and Soy have just gone straight onto site. They haven't used any of their gadgets as soft breaches. They've instead used their speed, used their guns, and just gone straight for site. I think this has really surprised Elevate.
Attackers dropped the diffuser.
Oh yeah, Elevate are certainly looking quite surprised, albeit a very good, very confident recovery. Mons, though, is able to shut things down into Lola, and, well, Cortari now making a rotation back onto the side. We are now down to a 2 versus 2, but the control of side is still, for at least partially, is still there. Mons is able to lock down the blue tunnel, albeit now she will be expecting the rotation from Cortari, whereas Sav is just holding down the charge. The main question here is going to be, can Mons shut down Cortari's flank around, or rather push, and whether can they push Sav off her position as well? Because right now Church has been taken, so the plan could potentially go down, but right now they are waffling with their position. There's no expectation about their position, and Finite is the last person standing, and she will get pretty swiftly shut down. Sav, with a return fire from Elevate, will be claiming back again the point lead.
I think that rush from Forbidden definitely took Elevate by surprise. You know, they were probably expecting a slow start, maybe some soft breaches happening, maybe some roam clear happening, but instead Forbidden went straight onto site, you know, getting those early picks down. However, they weren't able to capitalize on it. I feel like the momentum really slowed down for Forbidden, which allowed Elevate to get into, you know, those positions, to maybe rotate around onto the site and to get some surprise picks onto Forbidden, which ultimately was Forbidden's downfall.
Yeah, well, still not over yet. Forbidden can still make a grand comeback and make the grand play here against Elevate, because so far only a single point difference isn't as much. The moment they are going to be starting to bleed even more around now, this is where all of the problems are going to start to arrive. The CCTV hold last time was a victorious one from Elevate, but all thanks to the fact that they were able to shut down both of the breaches from Forbidden Gaming, and if at this point Forbidden will play a little bit more careful and not risk their Hibana to try to go for a roam clear, I feel that they will be able to get a really nice early breach, and from there on just kind of snowball things right onto site.
10 seconds.
Yeah, I think Forbidden definitely need to get used to the fact that, you know, Elevate is just very aggressive with how many angles they hold, and whether they punch out some barricades or, you know, do. I haven't seen any runouts, but I wouldn't be surprised if that actually happens. You know, I believe that Dinah was actually picked up when she was running across that those cars at the front, and she was actually picked up from Strip, maybe. I'm not 100%. But as a Hibana, we definitely want to be opening up those garage sightlines to flush out any possible person that you would see on those rafters.
Let's actually cast our way for the time being onto rafters. There is a presence from Aussie, but there's also a continuous run from Cortari. Please tell me if I can make it towards the Cortari before she goes in for the peak. But yeah, Cortari was, I believe, one of the few people who was continuously roaming throughout that CCTV hold, and, well, she had a few positions that could leverage out a few of the attackers, but it seems that so far they've all managed to avoid her for the time being, so we are going to be seeing a breach rather in the jacuzzi wall, and from there on they should be able to go in for a much quicker push. So we're already applying even more pressure now, making an entry into the master bedroom, and with Cortari still down below, she could make a really nasty surprise for Forbidden once they go in deeper into and closer towards the site.
Yeah, I really hope there is a flank drone available on the main stairs to spot out Cortari if she does flank up those main stairs, because I believe, you know, those are the closest and most convenient places to flank through, to be caught with your pants down, to have Cortari as alibi creeping up, and to be able to get some you know, impactful picks is definitely not what Forbidden want. But I believe Mons is on that flank watch duty, and we do know Mons is very capable with her gun, you know. So it would be good to see a little face-off between Mons and Cortari.
There's definitely already a few breaches happening, but interestingly enough, most of the push is actually coming through the construction site. Let's have a look at where Cortari is. She has managed to rotate back to the rafters, so she will be able to set up a few gunfight positions here, and, well, with the very nice pixel angle, just missing out on Saren's position. Well, Now Sands should be able to drain out even more time. Nice peek out. Will be granting Mons another frag, but there's already a refrag by Elevate. 4 versus 3, still playable, still workable, but with time running low, things are certainly starting to heat up here.
Tari is still on the flank. They still don't know where she is. She still hasn't emerged yet. Mons gets down, running across onto side. Maybe the angles weren't quite covered yet. However, intel does go out to where Sav is. She's in CCTV, and I believe Soy is aware of that. A Nitro Cell goes out, doesn't manage to land on anything. However, you know, these live pings are going out as well. Soy is going for a plan. It's all up to Diana and Finite to go for those angle cover. Diana vaults in, gets that headshot onto Sav. Ozzy getting that refrag onto Diana. This is so close.
Yeah, with Soy finding another frag, it's all down to Cortari, the lone roamer, will be trying to get a play going. And now Soy could potentially find that frag, does have that peak angle set up, and well, Forbidden back again on the draw. It's seeming so far they are not allowing any kind of advantage to Elevate, and certainly do look like they just might be able to grant themselves, if not a win, at the very least, a draw.
To be able to draw against Elevate, you know, the #1 team of this round robin. No other team apart from Kingswomen have done it, and those are the first and second teams. And Forbidden is definitely, you know, hasn't really shown us a lot of the strength in the past few times that we've watched them. So to see them coming out to give Elevate such a hard time, you know, I believe that Elevate is pulling out all stops, trying to win this, and they're really, you know, putting in their effort as well. Is such a great job done by Forbidden, and it's so rewarding to see them improve every single week like this.
Most definitely. I mean, looking at their previous results as well, which is probably the most interesting to me results, is the fact that previously when Forbidden played against Elevate, it was a 7-1. When they last played against Kingswomen, a 7-1. They played against XO Gaming, it was a 7-4. So statistically, everything was looking in favor of Elevate, but right now, my god, this is... I would not be surprised if Forbidden would be able to run away with a draw, if not a win.
Yeah, if you told me that Forbidden was the second team, like placed second in this round robin, I would believe you based on this performance they're exhibiting right now. They're really pushing Elevate to the limits, and it's good to see, you know, Elevate get a little threatened from their throne.
Attackers must locate and defuse a bomb.
Still have a few rounds to really play out and see how things will really work out here. The winner of this round will be guaranteeing themselves a match point and at the very least a draw. So we'll have to see, because CCTV has been a spicy one so far. Lola tries to get a C4 play, but to no avail. Tries to get maybe a little bit more aggressive, because last time that did work out pretty well, and able to shut down a fair few of the X-Kairos pellets. Well, still able to get the opening going, and well, another attempt. Lola, phenomenal peek once again from that window, will be now finally solidifying that kill onto Soy, and that is a very impactful one, given that that's the second top fragger from your team.
Diana, however, you know, not satisfied with this progress. She's like, how dare you take down my X-Cairo pellets? I'm going to take the frag out on you instead. Ooh. And this is Mons showing us her dominance. I believe, was it a vertical kill? I'm not 100%.
No, that is by the garage.
Oh, true, yeah, the blood splatters are right there. So this is lounge control secured for Forbidden, which means that they should be able to flush out Sab on that bandit trick. The Rafters control is getting threatened as well at the same time.
Yeah, Aussie is doing her best to try to keep out all the Forbidden Gaming players from that position, but in the process of that, it gets tagged up quite a little bit. Does tag up Diana as well to just about 30 HP, so for the time being right now, Mons could actually maybe pick up a kill onto Aussie if she gets a little bit too impatient on trying to peek, but instead, Aussie Princess does decide to fall back to the rather more safe position.
Yeah, things aren't really looking good for Forbidden. You know, they do have that man count up. However, doesn't quite get that kill onto Aussie. You know, that was a head in sight. Oh, so unfortunate. But as I was saying, you know, Vivian doesn't have any hard reaches left, and Sav gets that headshot onto Finite. However, it's quickly traded out onto Siren. Weird getting that kill onto Sav as well.
Oh no!
The flank from Aussie. She gets that double kill, and now it's just a 1v1 between Aussie and Weird One.
That is such an oversight as well by the Forbidden Gaming roster losing out on such an impactful advantage. It's a huge thing. Well, an attempt will be made, weird one, to try to flash out Aussie's position, but she won't be moved from that spot. Maybe an attempt at the plant could be done here to maybe bait out the defender, as there's a sound cue. Won't be really falling for that bait, but the time is running low. The plant needs to go down right now.
10 seconds left.
Starts creeping up. There's the plant. It will be stuck now. A quick turnaround should go down, but no, won't be able to solidify that play. And well, it is Aussie that is able to clutch out a 1v3.
That was a huge flank, pushing through that rotate hole, managing to catch two members of Forbidden. They didn't expect her, both their backs were turned to her, and they just changed the round so fast.
Yeah, that went 0 to 100 in a matter of just a few moments. Aussie is absolutely nuts on that flank, and well, rewarded with a match point for her team. Only one more round remaining to decide whether it will be a draw or a dub for Elevate, as they are currently in a point advantage. Church and Arsenal will be the final round of this map, as the past few plays were going 50-50 between Elevate and Forbidden Gaming.
Yeah, I agree. The past few plays with Forbidden onto this Church and Arsenal, they have shown they are able to take a win on this. However, they have done this through a variety of interesting strategies, whether that be rushing or whether that be Mons actually clutching it out in the last few seconds. Neither of which is something that you really want to rely on, or something that is reliable in a sense. So I'm interested to see if again, having just one hard breacher on Forbidden's side will prove to be beneficial, especially with Lola on Pulse playing below like this.
Yeah, we were talking as well in the previous matchup with the fact that Pulse has been banned out in the game of Enix versus Exto, so maybe here Lola could give us a demonstration as well as to how impactful could a Pulse be if played correctly. And especially in the armory right below the kitchen where the most damage could be dealt. Cortari, once again, in an attempt to get a spawn peek, won't be granted that satisfaction just yet. Instead, it will be pretty much everywhere but the construction site where the spawn will be happening. So for the time being, Cortari is just going to try to cause as much commotion as possible, try to distract as many drones as she can, and well, rightfully so, does able to at least get to destroy a few drones.
Yeah, if they're not careful with how Cortari plays, she could very easily get a blind pre-fire through those barricades, which could drastically change how this round will play out.
Oh my god.
And this is the strength of Pulse, to be able to go through all these windows, to be able to go through all these walls. She sees 3 heartbeats. She knows that's on main stairs, and the ping does go out. She is able to tell her team that there's 3 members on main stairs. They're possibly looking for a kitchen push. C4 and Stab does go out, takes Diana down. That's the soft breacher, and I don't believe I see any breaching charges on Forbidden for their secondary gadgets, which means it's all up to Soy with her Ash charges. She does still have 2, as well as Mons with her 2 impact charges.
Yeah, at the very least, Mons and Soy are still alive, the 2 top fraggers of Forbidden Gaming, who will try to claw out the victory from Elevate's hands. For the time being, this is certainly looking like the tension has risen to the all-time high here. Neither of the teams would really want to lose out any more members here. And well, Elevate seeming to have actually picked a few very unorthodox, very aggressive angles to really play around to see if they can maybe catch a few of the attackers off guard. But surely enough, the Memorial Room will be completely denied from the attack. Sorry, from the defense rather. But Lola's position will be granting even more information about where could be the main push gauged.
Yeah, she's able to see so much intel from her pulse scanner. She's still able to see those 3 players down on main stairs, which means that Elevate is able to reposition themselves accordingly to go against this. Aussie getting that kill onto Soy. It's a 3v5 now, 35 seconds left on the clock. Things aren't looking good for Forbidden, but we have been in similar situations where Mons has been able to clutch it out. So is she able to do it again?
Now that's going to be the big question. Weird One is already quite low on health, and she's on the flank watch. Finite is trying to get rid of a Jaeger. There it is. There's the down on Jaeger as well. Kotari tries to contest the blue tunnel now. Lola does find a shot onto Weird One. It's a down on Mons. All down to Finite. And things are certainly not looking all too pretty. There is a frag onto Lola, but with 3 seconds remaining, 3 frags need to be done, or this plant needs to be stuck. There will be a stick to the plan, but unfortunately for Forbidden Gaming, this is a GG and a 7-5 victory for Elevate. So close, yet no cigar for Forbidden.
Oh, I feel like if there was still, 1 more minute on the clock, Forbidden might have actually had that in the pocket, and then we might have been able to actually see a draw come out of this game. However, as it is, Elevate, asserting their number 1 position on this tourney, are able to take out the win. However, it definitely wasn't an easy one.
Oh, most definitely. Forbidden were able to give a run for their reputation to Elevate, and with a 7-5 scoreline, well, unfortunately, it's still no points will be granted to Forbidden, but it's still nonetheless a very noteworthy performance from them. So very nicely done.
Yeah, I think this would definitely make teams, think twice about Forbidden to show up Elevate like this. It's definitely such a impactful match. Not winning, but it's okay because they've really shown their power.
Oh yeah. It was definitely an extremely close one for Forbidden. They definitely gave quite a scare as well to Elevate, I would imagine, about their the flawless run. So definitely a very good match for people who are just maybe tuning in to rewatch as well, because this, out of all of them, this is probably one of the rather closer ones, and for a good reason as well.
Yeah, I agree. It definitely puts them on the ladder of contention with Kingswomen as well. Being the only other team who came close to dethroning Elevate, Kingswomen, I'm sure, would feel a little bit threatened by this, to see another team come close to almost beating Elevate.
Yeah, most definitely. I'm genuinely now starting to get even more keen for when the playoffs are going to hit, because this is definitely going to be a meat grinder once we get into all the top teams essentially playing it out for the top spots. But for the time being, we have one more giveaway to do as well for all you wonderful viewers. ! Giveaway to enter into a giveaway for a wonderful Intel 10th Gen Core i5 that is presented by Intel Gamer Days, as well as our wonderful sponsors at Computer Alliance. And we also get to watch a quick short animated video as well whilst we kind of preparing, giving you a few more chances to really enter into the giveaway. And, well, we shall be drawing just in a short few seconds. She'll give a bit of a countdown to the production as well, as we are going to go for the 7, 6, 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drum roll. Can we get a winner? That is going to be Angry Wolf, who will be winning the giveaway. Angry Wolf 6, please make sure to also respond in the chat so we would know that you're still here, that you are still ready. Yep, Pog, there we go. There's the play, and we shall contact you as well, and make sure to maybe ping us as well, whisper on the Twitch DMs as well. But GG, well played, really. I mean, overall today has been definitely a bit of a roller coaster of emotions with some of these rounds, namely that second game. That was probably one of the rather closer games that we've seen so far being streamed on the main channel.
Yeah, I definitely feel a little bit foolish because, we were both talking before the start of this game that it was possibly going to be as one-sided as the first match that we casted. However, we were both proved horribly wrong. That was one of the closest matches that, we've seen in a long time, especially against a team that we thought was a shoo-in. We thought they had it in the bag. But no, not quite.
Yeah, I'll admit, I wasn't expecting such a close scoreline. Usually with Elevate games, I mean, you look at their general track record, it's all the way 7-0, 7-1s mainly. There are a few 7-3s, but never a 7-5 or a 7-4. This is the first game that Elevate got a scare like that. But that's pretty much about it for tonight as well. We still, I believe, have one more week of the round robin to see to be played out, and after that we are going to be transferring over into the playoffs as well, which I reckon going to be extra spicy. But any kind of final thoughts before we close out, Pi?
Well, after today, I really don't know what to say about like going for accurate predictions because, again, we had very strong, thought out plans about how today's games were going to go, and they really didn't go that way, which makes me really even more excited to see what Week 7 is going to bring for us, as well as the semis and the finals of this Women's League, where we get to see all these top teams contend with each other one more time for the last time.
Yeah, we'll have to see how things will really pan out. But for the time being, we also actually have the updated results, which we are going to be having a peek in just a few short moments. But yeah, just to kind of get a bit of a wider picture, I suppose, on how things are really panning out here, given that we also had a fair few matches also being played out off stream as well. So we'll get a nice bigger picture on how things will really work out here. But do also want to say a huge thank you to all of our sponsors. That is ZQ Racing, that is Quantum Energy, Ubisoft, and Computer Alliance. But there we go. There's our final results for today. It's Enix who went against Exto Gaming Aqua early on tonight. It was a 7-0, a pretty dominant performance by Exto. But if you are just tuning in, it's Forbidden Gaming and Elevate that just finished up their game. It was a 5-7 full 12-round regulation, and boy, oh boy, was it a bloodbath.
Yeah, it definitely was a bloodbath for Forbidden, as well as Elevate. Elevate definitely is shaking a little bit after this round. You can't be too complacent as number 1 on the leaderboard. You definitely want to be a bit stressed about keeping that.
Well, before we close off, let's quickly also go over all the winners of the giveaways that we had for tonight. So for the TP Link Power Bank, we had Minxie and XBread as well to win out both of those wonderful power banks, and we will be contacting you very shortly. On the side of the wonderful i5 CPU by Intel, the winner is Angry Wolf 6, so make sure to keep your eyes open for us contacting you. And yeah, that's pretty much all from us. Thank you all, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in, for coming around to watch another wonderful night of Women's League. And from us, from the production team, from all of our wonderful sponsors at ZQ, Quantum, Ubisoft, and Computer Alliance, as well as myself and Pi, we all wish you a very nice evening. Stay safe. Take it easy.
I've always loved the Avengers deeply. Getting a chance to make artwork for the Avengers means the world to me. The way I approach my art is a collage where I take disparate elements and bring them together so that the whole piece is stronger than all the elements on their own. With the Avengers, if I'm able to tell this valiant story of good versus evil, then I've had a really good day.
To escape. It will take